racking up them views, bro. Racking them up.
Slowly but surely. I'm trying the headphones today as well, so I'm hoping to hear feedback if they're good or not.
Yeah, good.
Mm.
But how's the day been? A good weekend so far?
It's been okay. It's been okay. I think it was just football-wise, just one game to look forward to, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is the return of the Masters tonight. That was something that was really cool growing up as a kid.
Yes, I love that. I think I went to go see it once in the NEC in Birmingham. I think it was ages and ages ago. Uh,
Yeah.
long time ago. Rangers won that day. It was the final.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I
Mm.
think this one is Chelsea. I'm not sure if you know. I know Liverpool got a team. Ajax, Real
Mm.
Madrid,
And Soccer Aid.
Soccer Aid as well. Yeah,
Soccer Aid. I always give that. Oh, the thing I know about Soccer Aid, it's got the longest half time in the world.
yeah. Well, plus with your T-shirt as well, we got WWE on as well. But
Yeah,
we don't talk about that in this podcast
let's just let's say about that the better.
anyway.
Less said about that the better.
Yeah.
Um, Game last night. I'm gonna say it. I don't think the Champions League final delivered again,
In what way?
entertainment wise.
That's that's mostly because you had one team trying to win it and the other team trying not to lose, right?
But what do you expect them to do? They go 1-0 up. What would you guys do?
Well, I'd try and get a second. I'm not saying go gun ho. I'm not saying go straight at them and start trying to be like prime Barcelona. But when you have the ball, all you're doing is just bumping it up the pitch, giving it back, giving it back, giving it back. Credit to Arsenal, their shape, the way they played was very good, and it frustrated PSG for large periods of the game. However, there was just one team looking to win that game from the moment Arsenal scored, which was the weirdest thing. I was genuinely, I was just like, what am I watching here? Right? We've seen it so many times, like with PSG, with great teams that like to keep the ball. If you keep the ball when you have it, albeit not as much as you want, right? If you play your passes, if you do that, you can get in, right? And then some of the performances yesterday as well, I just thought if you watch TNT, if you watched it on that and you're watching that, you'd think that you'd watch the greatest performance by an English team of all time in Europe.
Oh yeah, was it Gerard? Um, what's it called? Who else was McCoist?
And that
I,
flexibility.
I really like Ali McCoist as well. I really like Ali McCoist, but I don't.
He's gone from being one of the most loved to someone who's starting to annoy a lot of people.
I mean, it does help when I thought Madueke should have had a clear penalty.
No, no. It's funny that because Arsenal fans are very loud with, oh, he had his hand, Nuno Mendes had his hand all over it. It's funny they see that arm, but they don't see all the other arms that were going around the box against West Ham, right? Right. So yeah, and if for me, Madueke had a hold of Mendes. He had his arm hooked almost.
It wasn't just that. I felt every 50-50 decision went PSG's way. Almost like they didn't want an English team to win this final.
No, I don't agree with that. It's such a conspiracy theory from Arsenal fans that they just love to
Hey,
say
I'm not
things.
an Arsenal fan. I'm not an Arsenal fan.
No, I
And
know, I know.
and I don't want them to win the Champions League as much as the next Tottenham fan, but hey ho. But I have to call it the way I see it.
I think that the referee had clocked onto them from the very beginning. They were soon as they scored, they were time wasting. Soon as like every time they had the ball, they just lumped up. They took two. Let's look at their kickoffs, right? I know we talked about PSG's kickoff routine where they like to trap the other team into their corner. Arsenal's kickoffs, they're just booting it up in the air and hoping to win a free kick. And nothing summed it up more than when they had a free kick inside their own half and they start sending Gabriel and Saliba forward from that moment. It's just everything. All they did was just play for that set piece, and they never got it. And fair play to the ref because he clocked that time wasting very early.
Fair play to the ref for allowing Arsenal to cock up their only chance of the Champions League for a long time.
I don't know. I think you're very delusional in that sense to think that.
Hey, I ain't AFTV. I've got nothing to fight for. All I'm gonna say is I don't want I didn't want them to win, but I have to call it the way I saw it. And every decision went up PSG's way. And I don't feel like Arsenal got anything in that game.
I mean, you can argue that this is a course of a whole season, right? Arsenal had so much luck, but the fact is they didn't get the job done. Right? It was there. PSG in that first half. I'm not saying they were there for the taking because I thought the goal came very much against the run of play. Havertz
4 minutes in.
Great finish.
It wasn't. You can't judge us. You can't judge a run of play 4 minutes into a
It
game.
was a run of play because they had all the ball. That was going to be the game. We discussed this last week. They had all the ball. That was the game.
I was very close with my 1-0. I didn't see PSG breaking through.
Yeah, but you know what? When you have good players and you fall asleep, just like they did, Mosquera, I thought he had a good game, right? But they're always going to get that 1-1-2. They're always going to get it right at some point with the quality that they have, and they got him behind. And
Yeah.
Fair play to Dembele. Apart from the penalty, he did not see nothing.
I have a big. Whoever made that decision for Gabriel to take that penalty, I've got a real gripe with. You've got a Noni Madueke on the pitch who's taken penalties in matches before. You've got a player that can cameo. I don't think he wants to talk about football. But you've got a Noni Madueke on the pitch who can take penalties, who's taken penalties in game situations before and did not decide to take it. And if Arteta has been the one to allow Gabriel to take that penalty, he is absolutely out of his mind. And this goes for any centre-back that goes and takes the penalties because they think they are the big I am. You cannot go and take a penalty ahead of people that can take penalties. Who did you have on the pitch at the time? Madueke take a penalty. Martinelli took a penalty, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just trying to run down. It was Eze, Gyökeres.
It was Gyökeres, Eze, Rice, Martinelli, and Gabriel.
Okay, so you still had Zubamendi on the pitch, right?
Yeah.
You had Madueke on the pitch.
Yeah.
Who was your fullbacks?
At that time, it was Timber and Hincapié. Hincapié had no legs. He had a very good game.
Listen, I can understand sometimes your fullbacks taking penalties. Ashley Cole took many a penalty for Chelsea in them situations. I've seen Diego Dallo step up for Man United. A previous favourite friend of ours, Dennis Irwin, always took penalties for Man United. Unless you have taken penalties as a centre-back, you should not be stepping up, regardless if you are the captain. Whether you are so confident, you do not take them penalties. You allow someone that's taken it. That's me. And Arteta, as a penalty taker, should know that. If he has allowed Gabriel to take that penalty, if Gabriel's then grabbed the ball off someone to take it, that's on Gabriel. I don't care what kind of season he's had.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I fully agree with you. I think it makes it even worse that your centre-back's taking number 5 as well. And Madueke, the guy who a few years ago had a fight with Cole Palmer on the pitch against Everton at home to take a penalty.
Yes.
He didn't want to take one then, and I guess people just don't want to step up. But I will say this: Arsenal's. I'll go back to this game. Their approach, the way they went about the game, they showed absolutely nothing going forward. And just looking slightly ahead, right? England's right wing options are Saka and Madueke, and I'm going to call him out, right? I know he comes from our neck of the woods, right? I know he went to our high school, right, or my high school, your sixth form, whatever, right? But I don't know how long he played. Saka, I think he lasted 70 odd minutes, right?
It was roughly the same time as sort of the others, Kvaratskhelia and maybe a bit later, Kvaratskhelia.
4 passes. That's what he completed in all that time. That's it. You could talk about his great work going back, and he did a good job trying to track Kvaratskhelia. Okay, so
I don't think he did anything more than what Cole Palmer did against Man City, working back. Which I saw Cole Palmer in a different light that game. The tracking back and stuff I thought was brilliant against Doku.
But that's not what earns them the money, right? And the thing is that people have to call it out, right? You can say he is a fantastic talent. He's got so much visibility. Either Arteta has done a pep and zapped out all the flair out of him, right? Or he's just peaked physically because he's 24 and he's not a normal 24-year-old. He's not. Who's played, he's just come into the team a couple of years ago. He's been there since he was 17, 18?
Yeah, it's a Rashford. It's a Rashford.
40 games every season. At a young age, it does catch up with you. So he's either peaked physically, right? Or he's just not that good. Because the fact is he's so overly protected.
Yeah.
Right? He's so overly looked at as if he's like the next saviour, right? He is a very good player, but for the past 2 seasons, he's done nothing. Nothing of any note for us to say, right, when England win the World Cup, it's going to be because Saka was at right wing, right? And if he's not, they're going to have bloody Noni Madueke coming on instead of him. That's England's right wing options for the World Cup, by the way. I know we'll have a World Cup show close to the time, but
Mm.
that's their right wing show. That's their right wing. That isn't enough. That is not enough. And this is the thing that's like really frustrating me about opposition teams against Arsenal all season. This isn't Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez, right? This isn't Saka. This isn't Sterling, Sane, and Aguero,
Mm.
right? This is Trossard, Saka, Havertz, or if not, you've got Martinelli, Gyökeres, and
Eze.
Eze, right?
Mm.
That's who we're looking at and thinking that they're the
It's a
best.
lot of depth. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of depth, but I don't think it's up the level of a quality depth. I mean, Gyökeres has scored. What has he got? 20 goals this season, all competitions. Must do.
Yeah, but yesterday that was a disaster class. 20 touches he had at the ball, 10 times he gave it away. 50 times he had the ball, he gave it away.
Mm-hmm. Victor Gyökeres, man. Victor Gyökeres. What can you say? The stats look good for him this season.
Yeah, but it's all good when you're getting a hat trick against Leeds at home,
Mm.
and then the third, fourth, and the fifth goal. It's all good with that. It's all good in the sense of if he scored the second goal in a 2-0. But big goals, there's not many, and that's why they signed him. And I wouldn't be surprised. We're looking at summer transfer window coming up, right? I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the market again because he hasn't delivered. Arsenal have won the league, and he hasn't really contributed to that.
There are loads of Arsenal fans that will disagree with you and say he has come in and done the job that they couldn't do last season.
He just want to do this. That's it. That's all he has. That.
I don't know, man. I mean, I haven't seen big performances from him in the big games. I mean, I don't. City both times. I don't remember. I think Havertz played anyway at the Emirates, didn't he? Sorry, at the he scored, didn't he? At the
Yeah, but
the Etihad.
with Kai Havertz, people obviously I know people mock him. He's not worth the money that people have paid. He's not really worth the.
Gets you. He does get you. I will say he will get you big goals every season.
2 goals in 2 Champions League finals. That's a very good record for anybody.
Not just that. We've seen him pop up even in games where it's Arsenal struggled. He get the one. He does usually get the one in a 1-0 victory or the third in a 3-2 win. He does do that, and that is what I will say. Fair enough to him.
Yeah, it's a knack. It's a good knack to have. But if you
Mm.
look at it, if you look back at the whole Champions League run, if I was an Arsenal fan, obviously I'd be really disappointed because they've lost a Champions League. They've gone out. They've lost in the final without losing a game. Really,
Yeah.
right? They've only conceded 7 goals the whole tournament. And again, I don't want to criticise a manager who's just won a Premier League, who just won their first Premier League in 22 years.
Hey, we'll get on to managers who have won a Premier League and get criticised.
Yeah, but what I will say is you have a team there that has strengths. Okay, whatever people want to say about how the way they play and all that. Okay, it's not good on the eye, right? But for years we did look at Arsenal. I think they're too soft, right?
Yeah.
No, they're not good enough, and he has toughened them up. There's no doubt.
Oh, you don't bully this team.
Right? But the biggest thing is if you have a lead in a Champions League final after 6 minutes, right? You don't sit back. This is Gareth Southgate, England against Italy. Not one shot on target. That was the moment. After that, they didn't have a single shot on target.
Hey, I remember going 1-0 down against Bayern Munich.
Right? For 114 minutes after that, they did not have a single shot on target. One team was looking to win from the moment they conceded, right? The other team was looking to just not lose. And when you go into a final with that mentality, you have no shot.
Mm.
You have
We've
no
seen teams though there before. Who is the African Cup winners who I don't think won a game on the way to the final and still won on penalties?
Yeah, but that's a whole different thing, though.
Yeah. Hey, no dissing AFCON. We don't want Mikel to come after us.
African nations, the amount of fantastic footballers that come out of Africa. Listen, the English game has a lot to thank Africa for.
They do. But I
don't think they deserve to win. I'm not going to have this whole thing about them looking like an underdog, right? PSG won what was so-called the Farmers League.
Mm.
Okay? We're seen as the best league in the world. Arsenal won that. They won
Yeah.
the 7. Actually, if you think about it, I know they had a bit of a slip up, but most champions have a slip up at some point in the season anyway, right? They pretty much won it at a canter, right? I think from pretty early on, so Arsenal probably going to win the league, right?
Yeah. Well, we said in December, I
Yeah.
don't see how anyone stops them winning all four.
Yeah, but the thing is you can't look at it. We were the underdogs against PSG. You're playing against one hell of a team,
Mm.
right? One hell of a side, right? 10 of that 11 played that final last year. This time last year, right? whoever that goalkeeper is next year, when they get to the final next year again,
Mm.
right, gets to play with those 10 again, right? But it's just, it's not good enough, right? It wasn't good enough. And if I'm an Arsenal fan, okay, they're having their parade right now and it's probably having the time of their lives. However, I will wonder, do they think, a few months ago we could have won 4, we just won 1. And that was the one that we built ourselves to have a really big.
I would be disappointed with 1 out of 4 because they got knocked out by Southampton. They got to a final, 2 finals.
But I think that would hurt them. I think
It
that's the
would.
one that would be like, if we just kept some of our big guns on the bench, if we started them, and then I know was it in between the Atletico Madrid games, maybe, or the Sporting Lisbon games.
Yeah.
And,
Listen, I look back on the 2009 season with a lot of fondness, but I look at it with regret. I feel like we won 2 trophies, the League Cup and the Premier League. We won the Club World Cup. So if you want to count that as 3, you can count that as 3. But I look at that and think, you know what? I'm disappointed. We got to the final against Barcelona. We got to the semi-final against Everton, where we played the most understrength side I think anyone's ever played in the semi-final. As much as I love that season, I look back at it with regret as well. So I think they should be doing the exact same thing right now.
yeah, yeah, it's I'm not taking anything away from what they've done in the league. Has been fantastic, but they're not good on the eye. The manager does need to take a look at himself in terms of his tactics again in those sort of situations, because you can't get away with that. That's the difference between a good team and the elite, right? We've seen it. PSG, Barcelona, Pep's Barcelona, Ancelotti's Real Madrid, Zidane's Real Madrid, right? When it comes to that clicking of that button to say, all right, we're under pressure here. We are now going to get to that extra level and show that we are better than you. Arsenal did not do that yesterday. They
No.
didn't, right? That's the point when you've got to put your foot on their neck and say, we have you where we want you, right? This is how we're going to get the win. They didn't do that.
They didn't, and that is.
Do you know what? Football won yesterday,
Mm.
right? Football won,
and
not set pieces.
and UEFA.
And you're delusional.
Well, speaking of delusional, honest lot, the delusional amongst Liverpool fans that he's not done a good job.
Well, can we just take a moment's silence for Cody Gakpo, who now might need to look for a new job because he's going to have to. His dad's gone now. So
listen, man, I don't know why people hate on Cody Gakpo. He keeps scoring against United, man. So
listen, I have it on good authority from a few people that I've spoken to that Cody Gakpo is not the player that everybody outside of Liverpool thinks he is.
I didn't see it coming. I'm going to be honest. I thought he was going to stay. The talk was he's there to stay.
Yeah, yeah. Player power wins. Simple. Player power, and that's a shock, right? It is a bit of a shock that the player power has really gotten him out, because the Salah post of wanting, like when he came out having that was unprofessional anyway, but it was the amount of current players who liked it.
Yeah.
The amount when that happens, there's only one way that's working.
I don't have a problem with what Salah said. I have more of a problem with the players liking it because they're the ones who are the weasels. Those are the ones that are the cancers in them dressing rooms, that are the slow in your back. At least Salah does it to your front.
Yeah.
There's players like Salah that will do it to the front, but the players that are behind him, nah, man. I don't. They're the ones that are cowards that can't say it to the manager's face or say it on social media and have to hide behind Mo Salah. But I don't know, man. Maybe Salah stays now. Maybe Konate stays.
You know what? If Salah stays now, that is the biggest sign of player power is that I say at Liverpool, and you can't let that happen. That destroys the culture.
Don't know, man. Would you say 1 more year? Why don't you do it?
No, you can't. You can't have that big ceremony when he left, right? That big tribute, right? We're going around the pitch, the fans singing "Never Walk Alone" for him to show up again 6 weeks later. You can't do that. It's just not going to work. And if I'm honest, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, really. Just leaves a bad taste in your mouth to think that, he is a good manager. People who say he's not a good manager, I think that they're wrong. But it's probably the first bad time he's had in his whole career, and he just didn't know how to turn it around.
I mean, They won the league in their first year. I would take it.
Yeah,
And
but the argument is subs Klopp's team.
let's be honest as well, man. Although they had an awful season, the football was unbearable to watch at times.
Yeah,
They still qualified for the Champions League. They still are in it next year, and do you know what? They've got as good a shot as anyone else winning it because of who they are in the Champions League.
they
Every
do.
every year I say to you, they are the ones to watch. They are the ones to be not just them, but Real Madrid and um, occasionally Barcelona. Those are the ones that always get. I mean, I know where did they get? I know they got knocked out again to PSG. Was it last? Is it
Quarterfinal.
quarterfinals? Last year it was the last 16. When Liverpool were in the Champions League, I just don't. I can never bet against them.
Yeah, but they're also in it with the lowest total anyone has ever got in, with 60 points. That is almost through the back door.
Did you log it in with less points when you finished sixth?
No, no. But we won the Champions League. We didn't get in
Yeah.
through the league position, right? So
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about through league position.
yeah. This is the lowest points anyone's ever had for a league position to get in. 60 points. That got you Champions League. You know. Yeah.
Hey, man. Well, I thought we could go on here and debate the manager, but that's already done deal as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. You know, just if anyone watched the first episode, I called it. And but his style twice a week, 3 times a week potentially. You know, if they play, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, it's a lot. And whether
How are they going to play that system though with that Liverpool team? How does it work?
I don't know. I don't
Would
know.
it will it work actually? You've got Frimpong and Kirkes who might actually be better off playing as wing backs.
Yeah, but
They don't have
they
enough centre backs.
they need to be careful because the reason that they bought in Slot originally because he was actually seen as being similar to Klopp,
Mm.
right, in terms of style and stuff. And if it's
I
not,
mean, I do not think that. After watching slot football, slot ball. I'm going to miss the pose.
yeah,
It was the
yeah,
biggest aura pose of all time.
yeah. But they're not gonna. They had to get rid of it. It was never gonna get any better. But the one thing I have realised, and I've been thinking about, they either didn't want Alonso because they don't rate him, or they don't bring in the fan favourite because they run in the show differently
The Alonso one is just the strangest, most. It feels like there's no plan there.
now. No, it's one of the sporting directors, right? They got him from Bournemouth, so it is a little bit like hired his mate. So, but his mate's done a great
With
job. What they did last season was just unbelievable achievement getting into Europe. And it is a step up. It's not sideways to Crystal Palace now. It is an upward step towards
Well,
what they
don't be surprised if the fixture random generator puts him Liverpool Bournemouth again opening day of the season.
Oh yeah. That's just the
Or Chelsea Liverpool.
you know yeah they'll find a way. They'll find a way to make that game really early on in the season and
Mm.
get that in. But like I said, Liverpool, I think they've got it strengthened because they're going to lose Kanate as well. I don't think they're going to go out and spend 450 million again, right? I don't think they're going to spend. They probably need to spend maybe about 200 mil, I reckon, on a centre back.
They need two centre. They need two centre backs.
And they need a midfielder as well. McAllister's legs have gone, and Gravenberch's legs started going as well. And they need to somehow think, okay, what do we do with Salah? How do
Well, I
we?
think they're going to get Adam Wharton.
Oh, I don't know. Adam Morton he's going to be coveted by a lot of teams.
Uh, I mean, Bowen to Liverpool's always been there, hasn't it?
Yeah, but with the new rules, there's no sell-on value, right?
Mm.
But it'll be an interesting summer for them. I just don't think that. I just think the new manager has to go in and he has to settle the dressing room, but he's also gonna have to maybe act differently to get him to like him because they didn't like the last one.
They won the league with the last one.
Yeah, but the thing is, as soon as PSG beat them in that last 16, season before, something happened, and after that they weren't the same. They lost 20 games last season. Yeah, and some of the manner of those defeats, like the game against City in the cup,
Well,
he,
City in the league as well, even
yeah,
3-0, wasn't it?
he got hammered. And some of the, even like at Anfield, the performances weren't great. They were,
Forest went there and absolutely battered them. Was it 3-0? 3-1? 3-0?
yeah, yeah. And then they were just, yeah, it just hasn't been good enough. It just felt like he was clinging on for a while.
Hmm.
And credit to Liverpool in a way as well. They don't just sack anybody easily, but it did just feel as if like it's probably reached the end. And
Hmm.
he was lucky to be there coming the end of the season. I thought
Yeah.
he should have gone a bit earlier.
Yeah, you called it. I didn't. And yeah, interesting takes. Love that we did well, I didn't see that come in, and I'm also of the mind that not sure about Areola at Liverpool. Didn't want him at United, so I can't say.
He obviously his brand of football that will excite it will excite Liverpool. It's very very intense. They're used to that with Klopp. Whether they got Klopp style players or not, that remains to be seen. I don't think they do.
Well, they
Um,
haven't got any of that front line anymore, innit? Apart from Gakpo, really.
yeah, yeah. And like I said, his dad's gone. He's probably in depression right now. He's probably sat there
I'm just just
in
just trying
mourning for his.
just just trying to think as well. It's not very. It's also not good enough, and I think I said this to you the other day. I gave you a list of about 10 players that they've recouped £10 million for. Is it Kanate, Salah, um, Naby Keita was on there, Oxlade Chamberlain, um, even going back further, I think Adam Lallana was on there, James Milner. There's loads of players that they've bought and they have not recouped money for them.
Mm. Yeah,
They have lived off this Coutinho 135 million for so many years.
they're it's weird because they've gone from being one of the best run clubs in the world to letting players just run out their contracts. Because
Mm,
next season, Allison, season after that, I think it's Van Dijk.
yeah.
Um, just I don't know. I don't know how it got to that in terms of the way it's run. I mean, you're used to seeing Liverpool be on top of things and running the show and understand just being able to just control everything really well. And from the outside, it just looks rosy, but now it doesn't look like that
Mm,
from the outside.
mm,
It looks like it had been falling apart for a while. Yeah,
yeah. You have. And see what he brings next season. What do you think the talking points will be next week when we film? Because it's been chaos this week.
yeah. Well, I guess we'll be back for a World Cup special. We'll map them out, try and pick a winner, try and pick top goal scorer. Let's go for it. Let's put some bad takes out there that the internet will have forever.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm pretty soon we'll be doing a Premier League fixture sort of predictions as well.
Yep, and then that's it. They'll be coming thick and fast now. So
Yep, yep. But
yeah,
no, it's good to jump on. Always nice to jump on a Sunday.
yeah,
Obviously, if there's some absolute crazy story happens midweek, we'll be back.
we'll be 100% back. Otherwise, we'll be back for a World Cup special.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for the listeners for listening, and I hope we can get some more.
Keep supporting, keep showing the love. We really, really appreciate it,
Appreciate it.
and hopefully we will.
Hopefully, I've
Hopefully,
gained some Arsenal fans today.
yeah, I don't think so. Hopefully, the comments are still nice, but
Yeah,
yeah, but we appreciate the love, guys. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're signing out. See you next time.